Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where today we have an absolutely stupendous replay. This is the best replay I've ever seen, hands down. I've watched a lot of replays from people and there are a lot of good replays. Not discrediting anyone who's ever sent in a replay before, but this is hands down the best replay I've ever seen. So if you've got popcorn, if you've got a soft drink, grab it, sit back and relax while you witness what is an amazing game, an utterly incredible game, and I'm not making this up. You'll see for yourself. I'm not going to spoil it anymore. So this is Eli in the M60A2, and it's quite fitting that we're watching an M60A2. He's playing it like I would at the moment, Westfield, going up the 2 line, looking straight across to the 0 line for the easy side shots for anyone trying to get down to K0. Unfortunately, the friendly light tank gets there and spots the first tank, the medium, F0, so there's nothing down there for him to shoot at. But I say this is timely because it wasn't that long ago, well, as of this recording, it's only been a couple of days, since somebody asked, should I play the M60A3 or the M60A2? Well, I went out and I recorded some A2 footage, I recorded some A3 footage, and I was going to make the comparison video. And then I found this replay and I thought, you know what? I'm going to let this speak for itself. So, again, not spoiling it, but we will talk about the differences between the A3 and the M60A2. So, the line starts in Era 2 with the M60. Got this first ATGM away there. The line starts with the M60, M60A1, then it branches to the A3 and the A2. So that branch is the question. Which one do you go for? And we'll come back to the tanks. But what you really want, especially on Westfield, is an enemy team that sits out in the open, not moving, with their arse hanging out towards you. I mean, 4 to 11, tough target for ATGM to pen, but hey. Not if he sits over there looking over his shoulder going, is this the good angle? Do I look good from here? Superb. Look at that. Superb play. The initial target disappeared behind a tree, switching target rapidly with the ATGM in the air. This is a quality gameplay here. Again, yeah, sitting out in the open. This is what you want. So this is an amazing game, amazing play, but the caveat is that yes, the stars have aligned slightly because the enemy team seems to be a collection of root vegetables instead of competent players. No disrespect to anyone on the enemy team. There may have been some competent players there, but these guys, maybe not so much. Anyway, the M60A2, the M60A3. So the A3 is essentially a follow-on from the M60A1. I believe it's got the same gun as the M60A1, so you don't really get much of an upgrade there. Friendly driving straight past the reticle. Yeah, he noticed that, not happy. Fair enough. The M60A3 is not a bad medium, but at the end of the day, you've played the M60, you've played the M60A1, and the M60A3 is just like, okay, it's just another medium. It's a good medium. Don't get me wrong, it's a good medium, it's a good tank, it's got a very nice 3D skin on it. Can't say that it's a bad tank, but for me, the M60A3 doesn't really offer very many options. It doesn't offer much variety. The M60A2 has that variety. We have ATGMs, bang, there goes another one. We have heat, and we have gold high explosive. So yes, in the A3 you'll have the armor piercing, you'll have the gold, I think it's gold armor piercing, I can't remember exactly. I've not even looked at the stats yet, so I can't say, but and then you'll have the high explosive. So you know, it's not a bad tank, it's just samey in my opinion. It's just you know, another medium. Impatient on the trigger here, and there goes the last ATGM, and it's a fairly even game, which 9 versus 10. Now I know some people, there are those out there that despise ATGMs, which, you know, fair enough, if that's what you think, then that's fine. And it would be easy to think, well, of course he's doing well. He's just using ATGMs. Okay, yeah. But now watch the rest of the match. There are no ATGMs left. The rest of this game is heat and high explosive. Again, a big light panzer on the other side of the map, sitting basically still. That shot was almost a kilometer. But now that he's exhausted all of his ATGMs from this position, options are now limited. This was a good spot for the ATGM play, but now I would personally start to think, team's a little bit spread on this flank. Their team is, I would say, the enemy team spread is a lot wider at this point. They've got two guys in A5. There's a medium. Well, there was a medium. There was a medium. RNG nicely playing its part there. Good thing he moved, because I believe that was the Bagel from the other side of the map, figuring out exactly where he was. So he's got a BZT there, shot into the dirt. He's got a T55AM, which has got very good frontal turret armor. The other BZT to his left has just died. So now he's got two tough tanks on this flank. There's a Bagel on the other side of the valley, so that's half of the enemy team accounted for. And from here, well, what can you do? The BZT is hull down, the T55 is hull down. This is kind of just, well, aim, shoot, and hope for the best. That round found the mark. BZT is playing it quite well. He's not rushing into the middle of the field. He is staying hull down. And the accuracy and the Sigma on the M60A2's gun isn't brilliant, but it's also not terrible. What I can say about the M60A2 is that if you like the M60A2 and you're looking for a premium that's in the same ballpark, the Chrysler K tank is one that you should seriously consider, because instead of having the heat problem as standard, the Chrysler K tank is essentially the same playstyle, but it gets armor piercing. So that is a massive plus if anybody is interested in a premium with a similar playstyle. So Eli here has decided that, well, playing the RNG game with the accuracy of the gun against the BZT and the T55 is not worth it. We have a, what's that? That's a VADS, and well, let's just watch here. Shot going to the far right hand side of the aim reticle, which just so happens to coincide with the position of the VADS. Okay. Well, yeah, well played. But it is now 4 versus 3, and again we're in a hull down position and we're just watching the other side of the map. And this is the first time I'm going to mention, oh, he's just done 12,800 damage. We'll just casually drop that at this point. And he's only taken what I assume is one shot of damage. So, yeah, 12,800, 4 kills, very well played. Now, they're against the T55, the BZT, and the Bagel. Those three tanks combined are not... they're not easy. They're not easy to deal with. The Bagel is very strong. The BZT is surprisingly strong, and the T55 can also be very trollish. Now, this is where, when I first watched this, I thought, oh boy, he's got himself into a bit of a pickle here. The cover he's got here, the topography of the map here, this is just awkward. Struggling to get the gun down here because of the topography. T55 does have a good hull down position, but for whatever reason is peeking that space, that bit of ridgeline, for way too long. BZT again playing it very well on the ridge, and this is all he's got to handle. The VADS on the other side of the map in K6 is putting in, well, we'll say he's putting in emotional support fire. The VADS, poor thing, is not that effective at range, but hey, better to have it than not have it at all. This is where we start to see, yeah, the weakness of this position. He's taken another hit, and the T55 is in a great spot, and Eli here is basically wrestling RNG. He's wrestling with the Sigma of the gun. T55 is it's nicely hulled down. He aims at the turret, but like you saw, the shot just drops short. It just drops short into the dirt. And he's only got, well, now he's only got 13 rounds left. 5 heat, 8 high explosive. BZT again dipping back down behind the dip, the ridgeline. And the Bagel takes out the Enigma. It's 2 versus 3. And the light tank on his team is a VADS. That's not incredibly effective against a T55AM, a BZT, and a Bagel. And he's pinging him. Yeah, I totally get it. You're pinging him, but sorry to tell you, buddy, that's a VADS. That is not going to be all that helpful. Unless the Bagel decides to sit on top of the hill. Put an ATGM out. I just saw the Bagel disappear to the left-hand side of the T55 there. Don't know where he's gone. RNG says no on that shot. So now it's a case of he's looking to the left because he saw the Bagel disappear that way. The BZT has decided enough is enough and he's rushing forward, which I believe is a bit of a mistake because he had the position aiming at the BZT, but again the Bagel decides, I don't know what that Bagel's doing. He's oh man, root vegetables, what can you do? Again, drive. Oh Bagel, oh Bagel. I'm sure Eli here was very thankful for your playstyle because you've made it much easier. BZT now, 54 hit points. The Bagel is a one-shot. Coming, there's the ram kill. There's the ram kill. 17,427 hit points. He's the only way from here is down. There's the Bagel. Casual snapshot on the Bagel. There's the T55, and now with 3 rounds of high explosive left, he can just aim anywhere and the high explosive will do its thing. And there's the ram kill. That was the best game I've ever seen anyone play in the M60A2. And if you weren't sure about the M60A2, well, hopefully this answers your questions. Yes, the M60A2 is a fantastic vehicle, and this is also the reason, games like this are also the reason why I'm struggling to 3-mark the M60A2. I just noticed there, Eli's got his mark on 90.4 something. If he can keep playing like this, then yeah, he's gonna 3-mark it. But what an incredible game. An absolutely stupendous game. Eli, thank you for sending that in. It was an absolute privilege to watch. I really enjoyed this one, and I hope you guys watching did as well. So that's all I've got for this one. If you've enjoyed it, please leave this video a like, if not a dislike. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one.